Stella, who was usually so calm, was barking outside the cave. I got up and went out after her, but at first she was nowhere to be seen. When I did find her, she was high up on the hill, half growling, half barking, and her hackles were up. I soon saw why, a small junk far out to sea. Scrambling down the hill, I met Kensuke coming out of the cave. "There's a boat!" I cried. "The fire! Let's light the fire!" "First, I look," said Kensuke, and despite my protest he went back into the cave for his binoculars. "We've got to light the fire," I said. Kensuke caught me suddenly by the arm. "It is the same boat, Mika-san. Killer men come. They kill the orangutans and steal away their babies. We must bring them into the cave. They safe there." It did not take him long to gather them in. As he walked into the forest, Kensuke simply began to sing. They materialised out of nowhere, in twos, in threes, until we had 15 of them. 4 were still missing. We went deeper and deeper into the forest to find them, Kensuke singing all the while. Then 3 more came crashing through the trees, Tomodachi amongst them. Only one, who was called Kikambo, was still missing. Standing there in a clearing, surrounded by orangutans, Kensuke sang for Kikambo again and again, but he did not come. Then we heard a motor start up somewhere out at sea, an outboard motor. They could be here any minute now. Kensuke sang out again, louder now, more urgently. We listened for Kikambo. We looked for him. We called for him. "We cannot wait any longer," said Kensuke at last, and off he went, up the track, leading an orangutan by the hand and still singing as we followed. I had my work cut out at the back. Some of the younger orangutans were far more interested in playing hide-and-seek than following. I kept glancing back over my shoulder for Kikambo and calling to him, yet he still did not come. We could not help Kikambo, but we could get the other orangutans to safety. The outboard motor died. I heard voices, men's voices, aggressive voices. I was running now, the orangutans clinging round my neck. The forest hooted and howled in alarm all around me. As I reached the cave, I heard the first shots ring out. Every bird and every bat in the forest lifted off so that the screeching sky was black with them. We gathered the orangutans together at the back of the cave and huddled in the darkness with them as the shooting went on and on. Of all of them, Tomodachi was the most agitated, but they all needed constant comfort and reassurance from Kensuke. All through this dreadful nightmare, Kensuke sang to them softly. The hunters came ever nearer, shooting and shouting. I closed my eyes. I prayed. The orangutans whimpered aloud as if they were singing along with Kensuke. The young orangutans burrowed their heads into me wherever they could and clung on. Shots, which split the air and echoed around the cave, cracked so close now. There were distant yells of triumph. I knew only too well what this must mean. After that, the hunt moved away. The forest had fallen silent. We stayed where we were for hours. Kensuke sang all the time, and the orangutans stayed huddled around us until we heard the sound of the outboard motor starting up. When at last we did emerge, the junk was already well out to sea. We searched the island for Kikambo, sang for him, called for him, but there was no sign of him. Kensuke was in deep despair. He was inconsolable.